Right. Hello and welcome everyone to this Parent Connection workshop on the Virginia Beach City Public Schools specialty programs. We're going to be talking to representatives from the Technical and Career Education Center, the Tech Center, the Environmental Studies Program, ESP, and the Advanced Technical Center, the ATC. My name is Dr. Admin Alexander. I'm the Director of the Office of Family and Community Engagement, and I'm excited to have our panelists this evening share information about these programs. So let's introduce our panelists. First, Mr. Robert Marlin. He's the Guidance Department Chair for the Technical and Career Education Center. Welcome, Mr. Marlin.
Good evening.
Then we have Mr. Chris Freeman. He's the Coordinator of the Environmental Studies Program. Welcome, Mr. Freeman.
Hello, good evening.
And Mr. Michael Taylor, he's the Director of the Advanced Technology Center, ATC. Mr. Taylor, welcome.
Good evening, thank you.
So before we begin, I would like to remind the audience that you can ask questions about each individual program at any time by using the question and answer or the Q&A tab on your screen. Those questions will be answered during the final session of the workshop. Please keep in mind, we may not have time to answer all of your questions, but we will work hard to get as many questions as we possibly can. I will also be asking a few questions that were submitted prior to this workshop about each specific program after the individual presentation. So with all that, let's begin. So we're going to start today with Mr. Marlin. Mr. Marlin, welcome, and tell us a little bit about the Tech Center.
All right, the Virginia Beach Technical and Career Education Center has been here since 1972 to train students on various trades. It's an awesome program. Are we going to bring up the PowerPoint, or where are we going from here?
Yep, hold on one second.
Okay. All right, well, good evening, students of Virginia Beach and parents. My name's Rob Marlin. I'm the school counselor here at the Virginia Beach Technical and Career Education Center. That is a mouthful for a name of a school, is it not? It's a very long name for our school. If you grew up in the city of Virginia Beach, or if you have parents that have, we used to refer to it as VOTEC, because we used to be called the Vocational Education Center. But as vocational education evolved into career and technical education, so did our center and our programs. So I'm going to tell you about some of those things and some general things about our program. Next. So some general things about the Tech Center. We are a half-day elective program where you're taking career-oriented programs. Students attend here 2 blocks per day. Our classes are 3 credits each. So what does that mean is if you take one of our classes and you get an A in that class, it counts times 3 on your GPA. So that's an awesome thing. Our students are very successful here, and that GPA boost really does help our students. All but 5 of our classes are 2 years. So generally speaking, first year students will be here in the AM session from 7:40 to 10:40 roughly, and that's the blocks 1 and 2. Then our PM students, or our second year kids, are here generally in the afternoons. Now we do have 2 one-year classes that do meet in the afternoon. One is Medical Systems Administration, and we have a first year licensed practical nursing class that also meets in the PM session. Now, students apply to our programs in the 10th or 11th grade to attend as junior or senior students. Transportation is provided from the home schools back and forth, so students are able to get back to their homeschool classes, or if they're here in a PM class, back into the neighborhoods after school, or back to school for after school programs. All of the things that we do here are really hugely in demand. Right now, the trades are some of the hottest career opportunities we have in our country. In every city in this country, we have a need for trades. And all the companies that are out there that have trades people, they have a need for more skilled people to come into those trades. And so right now, you're going to embark on some really in-demand careers that you'll study here. All of our programs come with industry certifications. They're tests that students take to certify their skills and their knowledge. Employers love this because they know exactly what your knowledge, your skills, and your abilities are when you pass those certification tests. And it's an awesome resume item to add when you're about to apply for jobs, okay? Now, our teachers are really unique to our district. Our teachers are industry professional teachers. That is a really awesome thing. They're 10, 20, 30-year professionals in these trades, and they've been out there and had that experience doing this, and they come back here to teach students how to be as successful as they were in those particular trades. What is also great about that is they're very connected to the industries out there, the employers that are out there, and it's really a great way to be a conduit to employment for our students. Every one of our programs offer work-based learning opportunities. We have internships, we have job shadowing opportunities, and we have a lot of students who have paid jobs related to their classes. Again, our employers need our kids so bad, they offer them jobs while they're here, and with the hope that they'll continue working with them after they graduate. Now, one thing that I want to really speak that's really important to us here at the Tech Center is that our students have all the same opportunities as any student that attends any of the Virginia Beach City Public Schools. You'll hear sometimes that those VOTEC students or the Tech Center is where you go if you're not college bound. Well, that's not true. We have students that have left here since I've been here that have gone to UVA, gone to William & Mary, ODU, kids that have pursued engineering opportunities and others from our program. So this is a great program if you're still wanting to go to college. You can connect our programs, career and technical education, to your academic and career plan. We have students that leave here and serve in the military as well. When you're in the military, there are jobs just like there are in all aspects of society. And so we train students for those. If you take your ASVAB test, you score higher on some of those job categories. It makes it easier for you to obtain the particular job you want in the branch that you join. Or we have students that enter directly into the workforce. I know students that have left here that before they are 30 are making more money than I make. And that is not a joke at all. These students are super successful that are here. Now, another thing that is really neat that I find really awesome, as well as our students do, is they come from all of the Virginia Beach high schools. That is a really great thing. We are one of the most, if not the most diverse educational environment in our city. Kids from all walks of life come here, from all socioeconomic backgrounds, from all demographic groups, and they come together with the common goal of taking these classes. And that is a really great thing when kids are all pushing in the same direction, taking our courses, because they're all here for the same goals and the same aspirations. It's an amazing environment. Students, when you come here, again, you're only taking a half-day program where you're taking a career-oriented elective. So you do maintain your high school status. So if you're an athlete, you're in a club, you're in any activity, you're still able to do that because you won't miss a beat doing it. Now I'm gonna try to go through these courses really quickly and give you a little bit of detail about each one of these classes so you have a taste of what our courses are. Now in automotive service, kids in automotive service are learning how to do the gamut of automotive vehicle maintenance and repair, from under the hood, the drivetrain, transmissions, and so forth. Our auto body students are really learning some awesome things when it comes to customizing cars. You can customize paint jobs. We're learning how to fix cars that are in a collision. People are keeping their cars longer than ever these days because car payments are very expensive. And so these jobs are in huge demand because people are keeping their cars, again, a very long time. If you look out in the parking lot right now, I'm driving a 2006 Toyota RAV4. Why? Because I don't want a car payment. They can fix it, and it's awesome. Our cosmetology students are learning hair, nails, makeup, manicures, and pedicures. We actually have 3 cosmetology salons where we can serve the public. Really awesome. Culinary art students are learning from 2 professional chefs. One operates a commercial kitchen. The other chef, we call her the cake boss. Chef A is an amazing baker, and kids learn in bakery and pastry as well. Our dental assisting students get the opportunity to work in a fully functioning dental office that is built into our building. We have a public health dentist that comes and visits our building on Mondays. And we have a lot of students that aren't able to afford dental care. And so while they're here those 2 years, our dental office provides that care. The dental dentist provides, all the doctor's work. Then we have our teacher who serves as a dental hygienist, and students sit chairside assisting them both. They learn while they're on the job. It's awesome. In early childhood education, it's one of the cutest things that we do because we operate a preschool here. We have 3, 4, and 5-year-old students that are in that preschool, and they're looking for our high school students to teach them the foundation of their education. Those ABCs, those 1, 2, 3s, those reds, yellows, and greens, the animals and all that, it's really cool. And to see these young people blossom in that year that they're here under the direction of our teenage teachers, amazing. Electronics and robotics is a program that is taught by an adjunct ODU professor. He teaches in the engineering program there part-time, full-time here, where kids are learning computer programming and building some really cool stuff like remote control vehicles, robots. And a couple of years ago, they had a quadcopter drone they created in class. Amazing. Our HVAC students, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Nobody wants to be hot and nobody wants to be cold when the seasons are the opposite of that. So they learn how to provide that essential comfort while protecting the environment with some environmental protection agency certifications there to get. One of the hottest jobs right now is HVAC. Over 3 million openings in our country right now for HVAC technicians. Our licensed practical nursing class is the only way that you can take nursing while you're still in high school. Our students are learning in a hospital setting with their teachers. Amazing. Landscaping and turf students, they are learning how to become professional groundskeepers, how to run their own landscaping businesses, and operate a greenhouse to do plant sales. Legal Systems Administration is a one-year class. All the other ones that I've been talking about are two-year classes for the most part. Legal systems, our students function in Virginia's mock trials. They function as lawyers. They get cases. They study those cases, and then they sit in court. It's been at William and Mary and other colleges where they actually get cases adjudicated against other legal studies programs. Our medical system students, you can become a certified medical assistant in that program. Outdoor power equipment kids are learning to fix jet skis, boats, commercial residential power equipment like lawn equipment, tractors, four-wheelers, really neat stuff. Pharmacy tech. This is the first year of our pharmacy technician program. It is also a one-year program, and in pharmacy tech, you can sit for the licensure test at the end and walk out able to work in any pharmacy in this country as a pharmacy technician. Our public safety program, the teacher of that program is the originator of it. He is a retired Marine MP as well as a retired Norfolk police officer, and you will train directly with Virginia Beach City Police, Fire, and Rescue. And we also have a fire truck here that was donated to us by the fire department for you to work on, some really authentic work. Television production and communications is a class where you'll learn how to produce your own newscasts, TV shows, short stories, and short movies as well. It's a program that we have some of the highest technology to produce HD video. Welding, one of the hottest trades right now in this area, and it's essential to the security of our country. We build those ships, we build the aircraft carriers, we help them build the fast attack submarines. And right now in this area, we have a contract for $41 billion. We have about 10 years of forward moving work, and the projection is we need 7,000 to 10,000 welders in the next 10 years. So why would you want to take one of our courses? As I mentioned before, these careers are super in demand. So if you want to leave high school and go directly into the world of work, you will be an in-demand worker and you will have no problem becoming employed. Military prep, as I mentioned, you'll take the ASVAB, whatever skill sets you have will pan out on the ASVAB test to help you get that job. I'm gonna introduce you to one of our former students and what he did in that realm. College preparation. I'll give you an example. One of our students a few years ago wanted to go to Virginia Tech. He wants to be a civil engineer. So he came here to study plumbing so he could learn plumbing systems before he went and did that. So that's how you can connect, again, career and technical education to your academic and career plans. Entrepreneurship. I know numerous students who have left here and started their own business, and it is amazing. Participate in work-based learning opportunities. This is one of the best places where you can do that. Some of our kids are getting paid in their jobs. A lot of them are. And I've seen kids getting paid $13 to $15 an hour in certain occupations. And we have a couple of classes. Right now it's welding, and next year will be early childhood education, where you will be able to get dual enrollment credits through TCC. What that means is you'll earn college credits while you're in your class here, which is amazing. I think I've said amazing a lot, right? Because it is amazing. Now, let me introduce you to a couple of students here that we've had in our past and their stories. This young man, Frank, automotive service student. When he was here, he had his internship at Hall Jeep Dodge. They hooked him and they hired him as a full-time employee after he graduated. After he graduated, he became a full-time mechanic, full service state inspector, got the state inspector license. I met this guy when he was 26 years old. And I asked him, because I'm nosy, I got to get this information. How much money do you make? He was making $65,000 at that time at 26 years old. That's awesome, okay? He's also in college. He probably already had his degree by now because Hall Jeep Dodge has paid for him to go to school. This is what we call multiple pathways. What does he want to do with his degree? I asked. He wants to come here and take his teacher's job. I said, wow, Frank, that is amazing. So next, see, I said amazing again. Why the Tech Center? These two students here in our culinary arts program that offers awesome opportunities for scholarships. They participated in the CCAP scholarship competition. Both were awarded $130,000 each in scholarship money. They both went to the Culinary Institute of America. And last I heard, they both had internships in Europe. Really, really great stuff. Next. If you live in Virginia Beach, you've certainly seen these vans. And this young man, Jim Steinley, was a student of ours. He owns Atomic Plumbing, one of the biggest plumbing companies in this area. Entrepreneurship. Next. And then again, the Army. This young man took our outdoor power equipment class. He wanted to score high on the mechanical sections of the ASVAB because his goal was to be a helicopter or tank repairman when he got into the Army. He's now repairing helicopters in the Army, got the exact job that he wanted. And last, and certainly not least, this is one of our former students. Daniel Ramos is the current VBCPS 2021 Teacher of the Year. He is the first career and technical education teacher to win this award. He was a former student from Tallwood High School. And when he left here, he started his HVAC career, became an expert, a master HVAC technician. So after that, the next thing for him to do was start a company, and he did. It's called Comfortron. I got to give him a plug. I told him I would, okay? But anyway, so this young man, again, is now the teacher of the class. He is able to teach young people and then put them in that industry. Great stuff. Last couple of slides, and then we're going to get on to the next person. And sorry for being a little bit long. How to apply and how, if you're a high school student, this applies to you, this entire slide. Our applications are on the Tech Center website, and we'll see that on the contact page here in a second. Please apply now. The applications are open. Our deadline is going to be February 1st, where we start to look at the applications for evaluating our applicants for placement. Please make sure you hit the submit button. If you don't hit submit, it will not go to us. The applications will continue to be accepted after that, so continue to apply if you didn't meet that February 1st deadline. And then we have a rubric that we score it with. Most of our classes are 20 max, small learning environments with excellent opportunities with your teacher. If you're in middle school, here's the things that you can do. Same thing with you underclassmen in high school. Take related classes if you can, and let's take care of these three things. Do the best you can with attendance. Availability is the best ability sometimes. You have to be available to be successful, on time, all the time. Discipline, do the best you can to stay out of trouble. I'm not perfect, neither was anybody on this screen, but I tell you, do your best. That's all we can ask you to do. Grades, again, do the best you can with your grades. We're going to look at these three things, plus the things that you can get in related experiences for placement in our classes. I'm going overtime, so if we can just, okay. So again, our information and contacts, you'll get a chance to meet our director here also. His name is David Swanger, David.Swanger. You'll see my contacts. Again, my name is Robert Marlin. I'm the school counselor. Our website's an excellent resource to learn many more details about our program, see videos, and meet our teachers if you want to interact with them. Our Twitter feed's a great place for you to find our posts. We try to post as much as we can to show the cool stuff that we're doing here. Again, our deadline, February 1st. Get that app in if you can. And we're going to have a digital open house on February the 3rd. Thank you so much, VBCPS family, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Marlin. That was fantastic information. I know I learned a lot, and I didn't realize how much the Tech Center offered. We did have a few questions. Some of these questions you answered during your presentation, but kind of get you to reiterate or reemphasize some of them. But the first question that was asked was really about attending other academies. The question came in and says, can I attend the Governor STEM Academy or any other academy while I'm also attending the Tech Center?
Great question. We do have students from virtually all of the academies in the Virginia Beach City Public Schools. Some of the academies have it integrated into their plans. GRC has a career-related plan. Bayside High School is their medical sciences program is plugging a lot of their students into our pharmacy tech, our nursing programs, and our medical systems programs. So there's some that are already integrated in with us. And then other students, if you're in the academies and the other programs, just work with your counselor to work out your academic and career plan. It is possible to squeeze us in. You might have to do something extra like summer school, but it is possible. Now, Governor STEM Academy students, it is not possible for you to attend here, generally speaking, because the Governor School overlaps our schedule in the afternoon session. So there's just not enough hours in the day for y'all to attend. But let me tell you, if you're in the Governor School, you are already in an awesome opportunity, and that's a great place to be.
Great. And the last question, or second question I'm going to throw to you is around the pharmacy program that you have. How can students start preparing for that particular program? Because if I understood, it's a new program there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. The things that we recommend for students to get into the pharmacy program, again, try to take as many related courses as possible. We want you to be in biology, hopefully by the time you apply, because you can't apply till your junior year to attend as a senior. It's a senior course. So try to take chemistry leading up to that. If there's an anatomy course in your school, take that. So take the related courses that you can as much as possible. It is going to be a competitive course, because we have kids that are some pretty high-flying kids as far as their academics go. So again, try to do the best with all of your academics, try to do the best with your attendance and discipline, but try to get into those science programs as well in your high schools leading up.
Thank you again for the information, Mr. Marlin. Appreciate it. And stay with us because I know at the end, I'm sure there are going to be a few questions for you as well. So our next presenter will be Mr. Chris Freeman. He is going to talk about the Environmental Studies program here at Virginia Beach City Public Schools. Mr. Freeman?
All right, thanks so much. So here at the Environmental Studies program, we're brand spanking new. So this is our very first year in operation. What makes this program unique is students will experience a variety of hands-on investigations that will prepare them for emerging sustainable and environmental markets that they will not otherwise have access to. And look, after all, this is not even really at a school. It's sort of redefining where learning happens. So we are at the Brock Environmental Center, which is the Chesapeake Bay Foundation's Virginia-based headquarters. And this is where our classroom is. And we have our own separate classroom space. This is the 10th living building in the world. So in terms of thinking about a really unique space to learn in that really you won't be able to get access to any other place in the United States. It is producing more than all of its own power with wind turbines and solar energy. It has this amazing outdoor learning experience being right on the Chesapeake Bay Foundation water, right on the right on the Lynn Haven River. And on top of that, we're right on Pleasure House Point, which have all sorts of hiking trails, an exciting place to explore. This is your classroom, the outdoors. And when we think about the wind turbines on site, when we think about this amazing living building, what learning opportunities come from that is rather extraordinary. This is the first building to ever in the United States be labeled public water works. So it actually produces clean, fresh water from drinking water on site. It was the first municipal building to do that in the United States. And we get to learn how that equipment works, talk about emerging markets that deal with sustainability and environmental studies. We get to understand how the electricity, the sustainable electricity that's operating this system here works. We get to work with architects and understand how this building is designed. Our classroom is LEED Platinum, which is the most advanced architectural rating you can get in certified under LEED. And the Living Building Challenge, which this is the 10th living building in the world, also just an amazing space, the hardest architectural environmental certification in the world right now to be received. So just an extraordinary space for learning. In terms of when you would apply and when you'd be working through this curriculum, you'd be coming here for your 11th and 12th grade year. So in 11th grade, you'd be taking an AP course. That's a weighted course, so that boosts your GPA. So AP Environmental Science, it is a science course that scratches the surface of every single ology that's out there and is designed to be able to be tied into all the systems that are here at this building, all the resources that are outside on site. We have natural resource management as a course, preparing people for fields in ecology and dendrochronology and a large gamut of environmental consulting and GIS-based markets. We have sustainability that can tie people into the 220 wind turbines being built 27 miles right off of our coast, along with thinking about the triple bottom line with environment, with economy as a huge part of what we are about here, along with equity. So how do we solve real world problems right here in your classroom? We're doing it with the sustainability course. And then we have watershed hydrology, which is really important to think about how students can have hands-on, exciting experiences. With our area, our region being 60% water, it makes sense that they should be understanding what water-based markets, what exciting opportunities are here for them to learn about and have hands-on exciting experiences. This is a program that is designed to be suited to your child's needs. The idea here is that we have an adventure with our learning and that we use science and sustainability to solve real-world problems, making a better tomorrow today. Next slide, please. In terms of equipment, we are using professional and industry and university grade equipment that puts students out in the field. So this image that you see right here is the Hydrolab HL4 sonde. Okay, this can actually be deployed out into our waterways and collect data every second for up to a month on a wide range of water-based chemistry. And this is the only high school in the United States to have this tool. This is the type of tool that you'd find with NOAA or VIMS that college students might be using at elite schools. We have that here in Virginia Beach. We have this here, and we have leadership aside from myself, who's been trained in this. We have people at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation that can help give students these emerging markets, these skill sets using equipment like our air quality equipment. Again, the only high school in the United States to have this type of air quality testing equipment for emerging markets, thinking about how we examine the air in our cities and the air in and out of buildings. We have a LEED certified building. We're going to be using our equipment to verify the toxic push that we do to flush the building out to make sure that we're meeting the standards. And we can test that right alongside the experts using the same exact equipment that they do to verify that we're meeting these standards. And so students will be learning right next to the industry leaders, also using the same equipment that they'll be using, getting exciting hands-on experiences in ecology and dendrochronology, in every ology under the sun, but also getting some really exciting opportunities for if you're interested in architecture, if you're interested in engineering, if you're interested in entrepreneurship that deals with sustainability and connecting back to environmental issues. Next slide. And as I said, we're sort of redefining what a classroom is. We're situated on the Chesapeake Bay, or we can go out on boats. We have the oyster barge restoration program that's here, where the Chesapeake Bay Foundation is putting literally by 2025 over 25 billion oysters and reef habitat into the Chesapeake Bay for restoration. We have students working alongside those folks, and we have partnerships throughout the city that will allow students for their 12th grade year to not even necessarily be at this facilities, but to be out in the community, working at an internship, understanding, and maybe with a friend or maybe rolling solo, but working alongside industry experts that are in these emerging markets, helping students understand how they can make our city more resilient, more exciting, and also make an exciting career with this as well. Next slide. So we have an AM and PM session Our AM session is from 11:40 to 10:10, and you can see the schools here for the AM session: Green Run Collegiate, Kellam, Lansdowne, Ocean Lake, Salem, Tallwood. Those would be the folks that would be coming here for our morning session. And we have right now class sizes that max out at 25. You can't have more than 25 kids in a class setting here. And we have 50 students total that will be coming through. So 25 in the morning, 25 in the evening, or in the PM session, which is really from 11:05 to 1:35. And then those folks get bused back to their school, or if they're driving, they come and go. And so this is also our building. As you can see, we have 2 wind turbines there. We have solar power. We make more than 80% of the beyond the energy that's required, and we give that energy back to the grid, and is just a real exciting space to work. Can you move to the next slide, please? Excellent. So here we are. This is the so here we are. This is the deck where we have a view right here of the Lynnhaven River, right opening up to the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay. We have the oyster barge set up here, where we're growing billions of oyster spat baby oysters that we release out into the bay. We have the Chesapeake Bay Foundation boat fleets that we have access to get kids out and learning and have the bay be their learning experience. The idea here is really getting kids out of their seats, getting them out, having them understand what the Bay Foundation does and what other unique opportunities are out in our city to give them the most exciting learning opportunity that we can to get their foot in the door in these emerging markets. All right, next slide. And so if you're interested in learning more, this first shortened link will get you to our application and a brief summary of what this program is all about. The second link here will bring you to the website that will give you some videos and some pictures that will help explain a little bit more about our program, and also give you the next Zoom link for our meeting on December 16th. If you're interested, come check us out. And this is my shortened contact info, chfrema@vbschools.com. I am the coordinator here, but I'm also the teacher. And so if you have questions about this program, I'm your guy. Come talk to me. I'll be glad to sit down with you and chat about this program further. And this picture here is of one of our 2 wind turbines that's producing more than enough power for our entire building to operate. Another interesting piece of this is that our internal space that we have for our specific classroom has a green wall, which is plants that purify the air in the building that go all the way up the side of our wall, that has third-party vendors that teach students how to use that system, how to build that system. And so students walk away understanding how we can use plants to filter and improve air quality inside buildings, and how that can be connected to business, and how that can also be an emerging market career path in our area. Thanks so much, y'all. We're a brand new program. Come check us out. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. That was, again, fantastic, interesting information. I love what you said about adventures with our learning. As you know, hands-on learning experiences are phenomenal for students. So also I have a couple questions for you that was submitted prior to this workshop. And one of those questions comes from a parent, and it says, how do I get my child involved in the environmental studies program? And is there anything that they can do prior to 11th and 12th grade to prepare?
So certainly the key here is to apply, right? And as you're thinking about what courses that you need, once you've completed biology in terms of sciences, you're set and ready to go. So as a 10th grader, that's when you're going to begin to think about this program. Certainly having opportunities to volunteer with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation might be a great way to just get your foot in the door and feeling about what some of those outdoor exciting experiences might be. But that's not by any means required. The idea here is that you're taking biology, or maybe you've even taken chemistry as a 10th grader. That would be fantastic. You know, we certainly scratch the surface of every single ology that's out there, and then you're good to go. So you know, by going on and applying, you're going to be then in our pool of students that we'll be looking at. And we have students at our program currently from every single high school in Virginia Beach. And we also are pulling from other academies too. So you can be in other academies and also be in our program as well. You know, that might take a little bit of tweaking and connectedness in terms of the coordinators parts, but that's stuff that we sort of work through behind the scenes to make sure that you have a smooth transition if you're in an academy.
Awesome. And kind of a follow-up to what you just stated there, how often then are the students at the environmental studies program? Are they there every day, every other day?
Yep. So as a junior, you are here every single day. So you'll be here in the morning if you're in the AM session. You'll be here. You'll go to your if you're in the PM session, you'd go to your school, your home school first, and then you'd be bused or you'd drive here, and so you'd be here for your afternoon for the PM session. And so you're here every day. We're working through in terms of what senior year will look like to make sure that we have the most meaningful internship opportunities. We don't want to give someone a half day. So we're working through a variety of different pathways for students to be here their senior year and getting full day opportunities if they want that for an internship experience, or they would get a half day and then go to their school for a half day, or they could be here every other day and get a every other day experience at their school. So, you know, that senior year, there's multiple different pathways that we're working through to make sure that students are meeting their needs and getting their needs met with how they want to tailor their experience with their homeschool and here, while also making sure that they have the opportunity to have the most fulfilling internship experience possible.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Great information. Seems like as a senior, there can be, or there's potential for some flexibility as you know they look forward to you know getting out of high school and into the real world and learning a lot of information. This is a beautiful building. I just recently went to on Pleasure House Point in the trail, and I turned the corner and I saw the Brock Center. I was like, oh, this is it. This is amazing. It's a beautiful, beautiful building.
It is absolutely breathtaking, and being the 10th living building in the world, it really gives students the opportunity to be on the cutting edge of science, to be on the cutting edge of architecture, to be on the cutting edge of engineering. And it opens up a lot of opportunities because a lot of folks are coming to this space to certify that the water monthly is doing what it's supposed to be doing, to look at the unique composting toilets system here and understand the engineering that goes behind that, to understand how the wind turbines work along with the solar panels. And then we have all this state-of-the-art equipment that puts people outside to do ecology, dendrochronology, look at tree ring records and how we can use those to identify where historic forest fires have taken place, and to actually look at how trees respond to varying levels in the water table. So we can look at historic flood risk and project that out in the future. So there's a lot of really exciting stuff that's taking place here.
Awesome. Thank you. A lot of current stuff that's very important to, as we can see with a lot of environmental changes that are happening within our world. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Really appreciate the information. And our next presenter will be Mr. Taylor. He's going to talk about the ATC, the Advanced Technological Center. Mr. Taylor.
Thank you. Next slide, please. Again, welcome. I'm Mike Taylor, and good evening. I'm the director of the Advanced Technology Center, a Virginia living top school and a place to let your imagination soar. Next slide. The ATC is a unique partnership between Virginia Beach City Public Schools, Tidewater Community College, and the City of Virginia Beach. It provides students with an advanced technologies early college experience. Like the Tech Center, our students attend the ATC 5 days a week, 2.5 hours a day, and they spend the rest of each day at their home high schools. We imagine, innovate, and create because next is truly what we do. Next. Our programs at the ATC revolve around 3 instructional clusters: information technology and computer sciences, with programs designed to prepare students to work in and defend our digital world. Programs like IT and Cyber Foundations, Cybersecurity Systems Technology, Network Administration and Cyber Defense, Cisco Network Engineering, Web Design, and probably one of our most popular programs, Software and Game Development. Who doesn't want to create their own video games? Next slide. Our digital design and marketing strand has programs such as digital design or advertising design, marketing and entrepreneurship at Town Center. This program is actually set up at Pembroke Mall in a storefront there. It's a fantastic classroom. And we have a dual enrollment program where we partner with Hospitality and Tourism Management, where students receive college credit in hospitality and tourism and prepare for work in that industry. Next slide. Our third strand, architecture, engineering, and manufacturing, is where students develop the skills that make them the innovators of the future. Programs such as engineering design, architectural design, engineering technology, naval architecture and ocean engineering, where students learn about what it takes to design ships, as well as some of those offshore wind farm platforms that Mr. Freeman talked about previously. They also study modeling and simulation and game character design. Next. Our students participate in more than just the classroom. It's more of an all-around experience. They have chances to participate in co-curricular programs and extracurricular activities that allow for competition and develop leadership skills. Programs like Skills USA, DECA, the National Technical Honor Society, FBLA, even an esports team where students compete nationally against students in computer games. And then we have a special program for our women in technology. Next. The impact of an ATC experience leads to success. Our students excel at levels equal to or above those achieved by students division-wide. They graduate on time with their classmates. They exceed state and local percentages. They earn advanced studies diplomas at a comparable rate, earn valuable industry credentials that can cost thousands of dollars for adults seeking those same certifications. And our students and parents universally agree that the ATC prepares them for the students' educational and career plans. Next. So, some examples. Individuals like Corey Gray, who was one of our first students in our Cisco Network Engineering program. He was a Kempsville High School student, certainly college bound. And he told his counselor, I want to attend the Cisco program. And they said, oh, that's not for college-bound students. But he knew better. And he attended the Cisco program, traveling the world. He bought his own home before many of his high school classmates had even graduated from college. He's now earning a six-figure salary for Cisco Network Systems as a service delivery manager, and is a graduate of the University of North Carolina, Greensboro. Next. We have students such as Alina Thompson, who wanted to live out her dreams of working with the biggest stars in the music industry. Does anybody know who this, the taller blonde is? I'm not really sure. I'm just kidding. Alina went on to study at Belmont College and is now a manager of artist marketing and industry relations with Pandora. Next. Students like Ryan Buzzy, a young man who is putting his innovative way of thinking to use in the demanding field of advanced manufacturing and mechatronics, attending Tidewater Community College and working for Steel Incorporated. Next. And we have Chelsea Moody, a digital design student at the ATC, who went on to study at Virginia Commonwealth University and has put her digital design skills to use as an interior designer locally with Mosley Architects, who happens to be the architectural firm that designed the Advanced Technology Center. Next. So how do you get to the ATC? Well, first of all, the first thing you want to do is talk with your parents and your school counselors and find out where do your passions truly lie. And then you're going to take steps to ensure that you're prepared for that application process. We do accept freshmen at the ATC, although our programs are designed for 11th and 12th graders. But students who have obtained advanced high school credits while still in middle school can, if you work closely with your counselors, plan to attend the ATC as 9th graders. Some of our students have participated as 9th graders, gone 4 years to the ATC, participated in an advanced academy program, and received an associate's degree all at the same time in that 4 years. It can be done. It's not easy, but it can be done. You want to make sure that you want to get your application into us as soon as possible. We are accepting applications now. If you go to our website, you can apply online there. Our early decision deadline is January the 14th, although we will continue to accept applications on a rolling basis until all of our seats are filled. We, like the Tech Center, do limit most of our classes to 20 per section. So it is a very competitive process. Next slide. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. We encourage you to join us at our virtual, back to the previous slide, please. We invite you to join us at our virtual ImagineCon 2020 Information Center. That will be at 5:30 on December 16th, or you can contact us by telephone, email, or by web. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Appreciate that information on the ATC. A quick question, a couple questions for you in regards to ATC. We had one question come in, says, what is the appropriate grade level to start the ATC? Because they heard it was not recommended for freshmen.
Again, most of our students do attend as juniors and seniors. although we do have some students who, by virtue of taking high school credit classes while in middle school, and then extensive planning with their guidance counselors to ensure that they can take classes online or attend summer school, that due to come to us as freshmen and sophomores. Probably no more than about a dozen freshmen each year, probably in the number of about 40 to 50 sophomores, and the rest are juniors and seniors.
I think I was on mute. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. And the last question I have for you, it's kind of asked this multiple times, but is it possible to enroll in an academy program and also the ATC, excuse me, for example, like the Health and Science Academy and the ATC program?
Yes, all of the students who apply to the ATC do have the opportunity to also participate in an academy program. We have partnerships with the Entrepreneurship and Business Academy at Kempsville, the Governor STEM Academy and Technology Academy at Lansdowne High School, with Green Run Collegiate, and we have students from the Math and Science Tech program at Ocean Lakes, as well as the other programs like Health Science. The key there, again, is to make sure that you work closely in development of your academic and career plan with your counselor to ensure that you can fit our extensive, time-consuming 3-credit programs in with the programs in your academy.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Good information to know. And I love what you say, the ATC can provide an all-around experience for students. And in fact, all the 3 specialty programs, it's really a great opportunity for students to really pursue their passion and tackle that as they move forward in their process. So what we're going to do now is come together as a whole, Mr. Marlin, sorry about that, Mr. Marlin, Mr. Freeman, and Mr. Taylor, and Dr. Lockett and Mr. Swanger is going to join us as well to answer a few questions. So Dr. Lockett, I'm going to hand it to you to just hand out a few questions that you've been receiving in our Q&A.
Sure. Here's a great question. I know you all have shared your websites, but I have a student who's asking, how would they go about getting a brochure? I know that all the centers have brochures. If they'd like one mailed to their house, what's the best way to go about obtaining a mailed brochure?
Okay, with regards to the ATC, we will be mailing brochures. In fact, they may already have been in the mail. You should be receiving them soon before our open house, as well as flyers for open house. But we do send them out by mail. They're also available in all of the guidance departments at our schools.
Thank you.
As far as the Tech Center, well, good evening, everyone. But as far as the Tech Center goes, we provide every high school with just stacks and stacks of our brochures. We also have brochures available to Tech Center, and we do have our brochure available via a PDF. So we're able to email that out to all students interested in attending the Tech Center, or at least perusing our brochure to make that determination.
As far as the environmental studies program, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if we have a brochure or not yet. We are so new, we're still in the process of getting some stuff made, but I'll tell you what, we do have some videos in one of the links that was Rolodexing through that will bring you to a lot of good information, some videos that you can click on to learn a little more. So we're largely right now digital. We did last year have some cards that were sent around to high schools, but to get this new crop in. But I'll be honest with you, that's something that we're working on right now. with this new program.
And it's very green and sustainable of you to be.
Yeah, all digital, all digital. Who needs this paper stuff?
There you go. All right, I have another great question here. A question about what do these programs cost? Is there any cost associated with students who want to attend one of these programs? And I know it varies from maybe from program to program, but for the most part, I'll let you all chime in about that cost.
Well, as far as the Tech Center goes, our programs are free. We do have a few programs that have some fees. For instance, our cosmetology program, students have to purchase their actual cosmetology kit. Our practical nursing program has a high school student fee. And then each of our programs have certain clothing that students would be required to purchase to wear. Otherwise, attending costs absolutely nothing. And the credentialing opportunities for students is free. So we do our very best to provide opportunities for every student.
Sure. And Mike, how about the ATC?
Again, at the ATC, all of our programs are covered full cost. There's no cost to the student. There may be some small, like the Tech Center, class fees for some personal equipment that might be used. There are fees to join some of the co-curricular organizations such as Skills USA, FBLA, that type of thing. But for the most part, you cannot beat the value that you receive in the city of Virginia Beach when it comes to education.
Good. And Chris, is that true also? No cost for the environmental studies program?
So the environmental studies program is free. The only cost that could potentially be associated with our program, we have a sister school, the Teton Science Schools that we work with. And so if you were going on one of our wilderness expeditions to the Tetons to do hiking, there would be some costs associated with that.
I'd like to add to this question as well, if I can, and add on a little bit to what Mr. Taylor said as far as the value. Some of the programs that we have at the Tech Center and ATC, you'll get up to $1,000 worth of certifications in some of those programs that are paid by us as well. So I think the value is just, it's incredible.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Marlin. I think we have time for one last question, and I see this is kind of a combination of things I'm seeing in the chat. I'm getting questions, from ninth graders who might be interested in your programs, and for folks who might have applied and didn't get the program they wanted in a prior year, but they still have time. Some of our younger students. What are some things that they can do to be preparing themselves to be the best applicant they can be coming into that, 10th grade year when it's time to apply? Or maybe for a reapplication for a student who tried when they were younger and are trying for a second time?
That's an outstanding question. And we encourage students, one, to do their very best in school. No matter which classes you're taking, work really hard and make the best grades you can. Get out of things what you put into them. So students at the Tech Center come here and give 100%, and they walk out the door with 100%. And that's what we look for in students. So do your very best. Attend school regularly. Make the best grades you can, and go to school and be on your best behavior. It's really, really important that students can remain focused and driven towards their goal. And those three aspects are very important. Additionally, taking related courses. If you're interested in applying for our culinary arts program, take a related course at your home high school. If you're interested in outdoor power equipment here, you could take small engines at your home high school. Or if you're interested in auto body or auto service, your art classes, your small engines, any related technical and career ed course would be beneficial. And then when you complete your application and you have the opportunity to express your interest and desire in a program, please take time to fully express yourself and let us know why you want to be here. We have opportunities for every student in this division, and we love to have you. And please just apply and continue applying if it doesn't work out for you the first time.
Like Mr. Swanger said, we look at all the same things. We look at the students' grades, we look at their attendance, we look at their discipline. But a lot of times what makes a difference in whether or not a student is accepted or not are those related programs that they participated in, and then how well they expressed their passion for what they want to do. Because that's what excites us and encourages us that a student is really interested and ready to put in the effort to be successful in our programs.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Mr. Freeman, I know your program is new and exciting. So what are things that kids should do to prepare for environmental studies?
Right. Well, to piggyback, I think it's important to say that, all these programs are designed to inspire kids in a different way and to give them a different path to success. And so, you might be struggling in school right now, and school just isn't the right fit. And as you start to see these programs and see what we offer, if grades aren't your ticket into this, right, you want to make sure you're showing us that you're passionate. And what are you doing outside of school that relates and that shows that you are committed to being a successful student here? We want to think about equity. We want to make sure that we're considering everybody to make sure that there's a path to success for you. But really, you need to make sure that you're conveying to us that, look, I am interested in this. I am going outside of a traditional avenue of schooling to try and connect to content that relates to what it is that you're doing, or I am already successful in school and I'm passionate with what I'm doing, and I'm showing you that through my grades and what I'm writing on this application.
Very good, thank you.
Well, first, thank you to the panelists, and thank you everybody for tuning in. But there's a lot of opportunities, as Mr. Swanger, you had noted, and through the last couple presentations, there's a lot of opportunities here in Virginia Beach for students. So please take advantage of them, and try and then try again and keep at it, because these are successful paths for you. So with that being said, again, thank you, Mr. Marlin, Mr. Taylor, Mr. Freeman, as panelists today. Dr. Lockett, thank you so much for assisting. And Mr. Swanger, thank you for joining us as well, as long as Ms. Hunt and Mr. Din for your assistance. And a special thank you to the VBCPS community for watching and submitting the questions. Remember, the session will be recorded and you can find it on vbschools.com. Thank you again, and be safe, everyone.
Thank you.